The first time I realised what was happening with the cataracts, I didn't know it was the cataracts. All I knew was that every time I had an eye test, I needed a new prescription, which hadn't been the case before. I was having a problem with reading music because you've actually got to have quite detailed vision in order to see a music score properly. And if somebody hands you something you've never seen before and you're sight reading it, you need to have sight to sight read. And I was having a problem because I was playing wrong notes because I was actually reading them wrong. I didn't twig. I don't know if I'd not understood that this was actually what the cataracts did. Well, I knew that we were going to have to do something because it was getting quite serious. And I said to the optician, I just got this leaflet, what about them? And she started saying, oh yes, Vision Scotland are absolutely terrific, best cataract surgeons in Scotland, really low complication rates. So I said, well, you better refer me then. And that was it. My consultation initially was only 10 days after I'd had my optician's appointment, and it was very, very reassuring. I had meeting with a nurse, I had a very detailed examination from an optician, and then I had a fairly long conversation with Mr. Ross talking about what type of lenses I wanted. Did I want the astigmatism fixed? Yes, I did. And also about my particular requirements with regard to being able to see a music stand without being able to read music without moving my head. And he was very good about all of that. And then he said, well, we could just do both eyes at once. And I went, really? And, oh yes, I said, well, I live alone. I wouldn't like to not be able to, I didn't realise how easy it was going to be. I wouldn't like not to be able to make a cup of tea. And he went, oh, you'll be fine. And I thought, well, I suddenly started realising how convenient it would be, only having to go to the hospital once, only having to beg a neighbour to take me once, only having to go through all the preparation and aftercare once. And he seemed so confident. And I'm so glad that we did it that way because it was really half the trouble. The day of surgery went very, very smoothly. I mean, my appointment was for mid-afternoon. And of course, I couldn't see very well afterwards because of all the ointment in the eyes, but I was already conscious. Everything's white. It was beige before. The next morning, it was like a miracle straight out of the New Testament. I did what I was told and washed all the gunk out of my eyes and looked out the window, and I was like, holy wow. And the afternoon after the surgery, I walked up to the chemist's because I needed some more tape to stick the eye guards down with. And I'm looking at the car number plates and thinking, I can read these car number plates. And I started having a game, how close was I to the car before I could see the number plate. I was so pleased I had the surgery. I mean, my eyesight was really deteriorating quite badly to the point where I wasn't worried about surgery. I was absolutely gagging to have it done. And the result that I've got now that it is done, I mean, 4 weeks after surgery, I was out on this trail ride, just unbelievable how I could see. And then I think it was probably 6 or 7 weeks after surgery, I went on a long planned visit to see the Oberammergau Passion Play. And we weren't that close to the stage. And I said to my friend, if I hadn't had that surgery done before we came to Oberammergau, I would have completely wasted about £3,000 because I wouldn't have seen a thing. If this had gone on much longer, I wouldn't have been able to drive at all. And that was my first reason for wanting to go private, because I knew that I couldn't wait. I couldn't afford to wait on an NHS waiting list because it was progressing so fast. And it was only when I went private that I discovered the two extra big pluses, which was getting better lenses that would actually get rid of the astigmatism as well, which is super. And also getting both eyes done at once, which I was, it worked out so well.